Oh, everything you're about to hear on this podcast is completely improvised. The film title and director's names are kept secret from our guests and team until the moment that we hit record. They're about to work together to create a film that will undoubtedly be a box office smash hit in the world of the living. Welcome to this week's episode of the Improvised Movie Director Podcast.
Orson Welles said that cinema has no boundary. It is a ribbon of dream. I truly feel that. Cinema has the power to transport me to a world where anything can happen and dreams really do come true. Except for biopics. They're grounded in a reality that the director couldn't even be bothered to write themselves, the laziest of the genre. Today's director has never been work shy. They have crafted and grafted for many years to make their dreams come true. I'm Martina Minnow, and I'm joined by Willow Chase, Director of Dirty Dancing with Wolves. Willow, welcome.
Thank you so much. I'm just so glad to be here. You know, it's just such a beautiful opportunity and to work with such a powerful, intelligent woman as yourself. It really is an honor.
Oh, Willow. Oh, it's so wonderful when I meet another strong, independent female and I think, let's smash the patriarchy. Let's take that shit right down.
Oh, absolutely. Although one of my t-shirts does say on Wednesdays we smash the patriarchy. So maybe today we could just do a little podcast instead.
Oh, wonderful. Well, I'll see you on Wednesday, for sure. Now, Willow, Dirty Dancing with Wolves, I loved it. Wonderful. Inspired. I could really see you'd put your heart and soul into it. Now, obviously I've watched it, but our listeners may not have seen it yet. Could you tell us, what is Dirty Dancing with Wolves all about?
Absolutely. So Dirty Dancing with Wolves brings together a lot of my loves. Dancing, being absolutely filthy, and wolves. Who doesn't love the cute animals that this world has provided us with? So in kind of encompassing all of those things, I decided to make it a real beautiful yet gritty, touching story set in the north of England, where wolves, as we all know, roam free still.
Yes.
In 2021.
I've made a principle of never venturing north of Watford, simply because of the wolves. I'm frightened. I won't lie.
It would be my honor to escort you. I know Kung Fu, so if it did get hairy, I would be able to protect you.
Oh, Willow. Wonderful. You continue to inspire. And speaking of inspiring, we see a beautiful opening sequence out in the forests in deepest, darkest Hull, where a woman is learning to dance and reconnect with nature. And I thought, this is going to be a cracker. Tell us a bit more about our lead character.
So Stacy is a misunderstood working class woman who, after falling in love with one of the Warrington Wolves, the rugby players, decided that she wasn't being treated enough as an equal by the men in the north. And so she went out into the woods of Hull to find herself and find her voice.
I've dated quite a few of the Warrington Wolves, and they've left me rather uninspired, I won't lie. They're all dogs, if you ask me.
I'm sorry you had that experience.
Well, me too, but we live, we learn, we live, we learn. So, we have Stacy, broken-hearted, been messed around by one of the Warrington Wolves, and she's finding herself again. Let's cut to that sequence now.
Come on, Stacey, get it together. Come on, you can do it. Don't give him the satisfaction of having defeated you. In fact, you're not defeatable at all. Not if you win this salsa dancing competition. Then you're going to show it to all of the Warrington Wolves, who I know will also be competing. You'll be able to do it, don't you worry. You'll finally be able to show him, David, captain of the Warrington Wolves, what it's all about. But first of all, I've got to learn to dance. The world of nature swirls around me. Look at that sparrow. Look at that fox. I bet they know how to salsa dance. Look, there's a little mushroom dancing away. What a fun guy. Just a little joke for me, Stacey. Still, I suppose in this rigid world of cha-cha-chas and 8 counts, one can never be too connected with nature. Alright, I'll get dancing.
Oh, sublime choreography there. Did you work with Felicity Foxtrot on that?
Absolutely. She's just a queen amongst women. We found it really important to have a female team. So everyone on set, from the line designers, the camera operators, were all female. And it just created this really safe environment for dancing, for body positivity, and for the voice of the women to really come through, not only on camera, but behind the scenes.
Oh, I saw that, and actually, the way that Stacey moves in the forest, it really reminded me of the supreme femininity of music and rhythm and dance, and I felt really inspired by her, and actually, I really wanted her to win that salsa competition. I was really rooting for Stacey, but she faced a rather unexpected obstacle, actually, and, well, it's quite distressing to watch.
Absolutely. The hackers that the rugby players learn were just the dance that she was not trained in, unfortunately with the gender constructs that happen, particularly in northern schools. The girls do dance, the boys do rugby, and she just had no idea that the boys were dancing through the rugby, through these beautiful haka, strong, powerful, sexual movements. But that's what made this scene so powerfully charged in the dance-off.
Oh, yes. We have got a clip of the dance-off. I thought it was a rather unique touch that you've done here, where you have them narrate the dance moves. It's lent itself very well to an audio-only format.
Absolutely. We wanted to include, make it more inclusive for blind people to understand the sexuality, the power, the speed, and the skill of the dance.
Absolutely. Feel the rhythm, feel the ride. It's salsa competition time. Here we go.
Our first competitors, the Warrington Wolves, with their version of the hacker.
Let's do this. I'm gonna smash this. Okay, let's ready, lads. Ready. I'm totally ready. Let's do this. Okay. All of the single ladies, yeah. All of the single ladies, yeah. All the single ladies, yeah. Put your hands up. Put your hands up now. Beyonce. Shimmy. Beyonce. Shimmy.
The Warrington Wolves, everybody! Oh no, they were really good. Oh no. Next up, it's Stacey! Oh, here we go. Step forward, step back, step backward, step forward. Cha-cha-cha. That's been the salsa. Thank you so much for your time. Well, it's time for our judges voting, but I suspect we'll know the way that this is gonna go. Back to the kitchen, love. Nice try.
Oh, goodness me. The humiliation there for Stacey, walking away from Hull Town Hall, head in hands, defeated by all of the Warrington Wolves. What a very bleak moment.
It was just so sad. A lot of people think the Northerners of England don't have the same feelings and sensitivities that the South. And it's funny, it's inverted here in the States. That's why I really relate to the Northerners of the United Kingdom. And she does have feelings. And the rugby playing, Wolves, they do have feelings. As I said earlier, there are wolves everywhere in the North, but they're people. They're people.
Yes, I see that. And we see Stacey catching the number 86 bus home, eating a packet of Twiglets, crying to herself. When who sits next to her but her old beau, David? They have rather an interesting exchange. Let's cut to...
Oh dear.
Oh, David, wasn't expecting to see you on this bus. You're usually a number 76 man, aren't you?
I'm indeed. Well, ever since we... I've not taken the same bus as you ever since.
Twiglet.
Don't call me that. You know what we said about that, okay?
Sorry, do you want one then?
Oh, go on then. Old time's sake, eh?
Aye. So, is that an ixnay on all of the nicknames that I did for you based on crisps or just Twiglets? Can I call you Mr. Skips?
No, you can call me Pom Bear, you can't call me Quaver, and Mr. Skips is out the window.
Right, but I can still call you Pom Bear.
Yeah, you can call me Pom Bear, because I'm light as a feather and fluff to the max.
I know you are. That's the worst thing of this whole damn bus ride. You still look so light and so fluffed. Well, there's nothing in the world, David, I would rather have than a man that looked like you do, like a pom bear, but thought like I do, like a northern woman, or like a wolf. You know, in wolf packs, they share the work equally among the genders. They treat each other as equals. All that matters is whether or not, you're healthy enough to take down a caribou. But in our life, you kept me away from those killing fields and stalking reindeer through the pines. And that crushed me, David. That crushed me.
What can I say? Pom Wolf's gonna Pom Wolf, and sometimes you gotta make sure that if you're the alpha of the pack, you better lead the way, and that means not following others.
Pom Wolf. What a perversion. What a marring of what used to be so beautiful. David, it's clear to me now. Thank you. I could never find another love amongst the humans. Never. Not when these antiquated ideas about wolf gender roles run rampant. Driver, could you let me off here, please? There's deep forest just outside Warrington. This is where I'm meant to be. Goodbye, David. Goodbye, Pom Bear.
No, don't call me Quaver. You've got to learn, baby. That'll never do. I loved seeing her stand up to David. I did. And actually, she doesn't need him. She's the leader of her own life. And we see her head to the forest, where she creates an entirely new form of dancing, inspired by her animal friends. The sparrow, the fox, the little dancing mushroom. They all teach her new moves. Moves that the North has never seen. Very inspiring, Willow. Really very, very exciting.
That's right. Just nobody puts Stacey in the corner. I don't want any women in any corner ever again, whether it's on the bus or just emotionally. And so we had to do the emotional fluffing to break through the toxic masculinity of trying to be hard like a Twiglet 24/7 and instead embracing your bear side, your teddy bear side. And there in the woods of Warrington, she really found a voice, not just for women, but for squirrels, for dogs, for the random little northern snakes that you might get. Just everybody's equal. Everybody deserves a chance to speak. And one of my favorite quotes is that in desperate times, it calls for furious dancing.
Yes, furious dancing indeed. It was fast and furious. I loved it. No one put Stacey in the corner, and you, Willow Chase, you put her in a woodland spotlight, and I loved it. Let's cut to the scene where all of Stacey's animal friends teach her their signature moves.
Excuse me, Mr. Sparrow, could I learn a dance move from you?
Well, of course. Just give me a wing and 5, 6, 7, 8. Let's fussy over this branch.
Whoa, Well, that's really good. Is it like this?
Wow, you got it, girl. Keep it up.
Thank you so much. And how about you, Little Miss Fox? Do you have something to teach me?
Oh, well, I'll just give you a little something, a little pas de bourrée, and you see how I go.
Of course. A pas de bourrée. Is that what this is?
It's uncanny. I love it. You slide, Fox.
Oh, thank you very much. And how about you, Little Mushroom? Is there anything that you could teach me?
Well, I like a dance, but I'm only mainly for sitting down in the little plumpy position. So I guess I'm a plie. Why don't you plie with me, fun guy?
All right. How's that? How's that for a play?
Wow, it's like you're my mother.
Maybe I am. Thank you, Forrest. I feel like with these 3 dance moves, I'm ready, I'm equipped, but I feel like there's something missing, a carnivorous ferocity. Where's that growling coming from? Never seen you in the woods before. What's your name, Mr. Wolf?
How did you know my name?
Oh, I guessed to the best that you're a wolf. And you look a little bit like Michelle Wolf, who I think is the one that does, Saturday Night Live.
Yes, we're very distantly related, but it's a badge of honor here in the wolf community that someone who's done the White House speech is also related to me in Warrington Forest.
You also look a little bit like the gladiator, Wolf.
Never heard of him.
Fair enough. I don't suppose you're a fan of dancing, are you, Mr. Wolf?
Oh, I am. Ever since I saw that film that was definitely about wolves. Dances with Wolves. I've just always been on a dance binge.
Dance binge? My goodness me, Mr. Wolf. I was wondering whether you might be happy to teach me. See, I've had me arse quite thoroughly handed to me by the Warrington Wolves in a salsa competition, during which they did a haka and I did one salsa step. So, ultimately, I was wondering whether, you had any way to teach me some dance moves. There's a ballroom competition right at the end of this week that I would just love to enter.
Well, let's do it. Grab my paws.
Oh, Mr. Wolf. My, what fast dancing feet you have.
Oh, what's the time signature, Mr. Wolf? What a snappy dancer he was. There was real chemistry between them.
Absolutely. I mean, I've just always thought there's a real sexual element to tap dance that I really wanted to come through.
Absolutely. And I'd never really been turned on by tap before, but actually, I found it rather exciting.
That's it. I wanted this film to just be sexually liberating for everyone.
I see that. And Willow, I don't mean to pry, but I'm an esteemed podcaster, and I need to ask, has there been a Mr. Wolf in your life teaching you how to tap?
Well, sadly, because I'm working so hard and I go all around the world directorially, there's not been a lone wolf for me, to mate with for life. But what I do have is a puppy in every city. When I need to dance, I got options. That's all I'm saying.
Willow, you inspire me. You're the very face of modern womanhood, and I wish I could be like you, but sadly, no puppy's interested in Martina. But we'll keep working on it.
Martina, with those puppies, I think you'll have all kinds of creatures interested in you.
My goodness, you're making me blush. My goodness, always lovely to meet a fan. So, we see Mr. Wolf teaching Stacy how to move, and here we are. It's the grand ballroom competition. The best and brightest in Hull have assembled. Coachloads of people have come over from Warrington. It's the event of the Northern Century.
Absolutely, and I think the pinnacle for me, and I don't want to do any spoiler alerts, but the way that we inverted the genders for the lift was just a phenomenal touch.
Oh, I loved it. I've tried lifting everyone I've met. It hasn't gone too well. I haven't got good upper body strength, but I'm working on it.
I find that if you can't lift me, you can't get down with me. and vice versa.
I see that. Let's cut to that phenomenal high-energy sequence. We hear the rabble there. It was more like a boxing match than a dance competition.
Absolutely. The sexual sounds they made were just amazing.
My word. I could feel the energy. The young were there, the old were there. I could practically smell the Guinness and crisp packets, the friction, the tension. It's too hot, it's sweaty, it's warm, it's tepid. And then she enters. And like that, all of that fades away. And we see Stacy and Mr. Wolf cutting up that dance floor like no one has since Fred and Ginger. What a scene. What a moment.
Yeah!
Assembled Northerners! Would you cut out those noises for a second, everybody? Assembled Northerners, it is time! We have assembled in this whole boxing ring in order to finalise the best dancers in the whole of the North! In the blue corner, we have the Warrington Wolves, headed by David. We've just seen him do a mag-fucking-nificent hacker. Very well done. But our last and final entry for the contest is Stacy and Mr. Wolf.
We've got this.
Thanks, Mr. Wolf. You know, I'm glad you're here with me. But more than that, I'm glad I'm here with myself. I've never felt like this before.
I think we've both had the time of our life.
First, Fossy, 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 Fossy. Pas de bourrée, pas de bourrée. Sit down. Wait, it's a secret plie. And finally, it's time for the wolf dance. Are you ready? I'm going to lift you. I've got you, Mr. Wolf. Up you go!
It's incredible, it's amazing. I've never seen a woman throw a wolf so far. She's flung him into the rafters. He's going, and he is out of the roof. He has been flung all the way across Hull. I would not be surprised if that wolf was landing in Liverpool. Well, I think if there's one thing we the Northerners appreciate, it's the flinging of wolves through roofs. So, do you know what? I think we can all agree. Stacey's fucking won it.
Oh my goodness. The final fling. Honestly, he just kept going and going and going. I didn't know a wolf could travel like that.
Absolutely. You know, sometimes a fling is all you need to remind you of how much energy and passion you have inside yourself. And I just found that one woman and her wolf was enough for Stacy. And the way she flung him away, it's like she was shaking off all of the oppression that she was feeling. And she was finally free, you know, to howl her own howl.
Yes, yes, yes. And actually, all the way through, I thought she's going to find love. That's what I expect. That's what society has told me.
But she did, Martina. She did. She found love for herself.
Exactly.
The greatest love of all. I mean, also loving your children, but mainly yourself.
And you know, society has taught us that romantic love is the most valuable of the loves, but actually...
I call bullshit.
I agree.
I call bullshit on that.
I agree.
That is not okay. It's a patriarchy that decided that romantic love is the most important. I say no. If you don't love yourself, how can you expect somebody else to love you?
Exactly. And you wait till Wednesday, patriarchy, because we're coming.
I'm going to mail you a t-shirt.
I can't wait. So actually, the closing sequence is one of my favourites from any film ever, because we see Stacy speaking to the moon, to the wolf she once knew and who helped her on her journey. But she shares, in the form of a sonnet, her reflections on her life, what she has learnt, and her advice for all the young women out there learning to dance to their own tune. Beautiful,
Absolutely.
beautiful work. Willow, I'm going to play it now, and I excuse myself in advance because I will likely shed a tear.
Shed a tear, or if the mood takes you, you have a little dance with yourself. I know I did when I watched this scene, and I mean sexually.
Well, I'll keep dancing on my own, I'm sure. Here we have Stacy with her sonnet to the moon.
Shall I compare thee to a nightly moon? Thy cry and flutter like the owl. You illuminate, but you're gone all too soon, and your ferocities like wolfly howl. I suppose I could, I even might, think of all my life that's lost and gone. But as I look out up into the night, it's only the moon of my futures shone. Though all I think about sometimes is you. The way you looked at me shan't soon forget. I only need me and not a boo. I only need to skip Son's twiglet. Though if you think it's strange, so let it be. For all I need for love is only me.
All I need for love is only me.
Only me.
Wonderful. What an inspiring message to everybody out there, Willow. You're doing so much. And you're inspiring so many.
I know. Don't hold back your tears. I just think that the femininity of tears should be celebrated. It's not a weakness, it's a strength. It's just such an emotional, sexual scene. I just love it so much.
Willow, just wonderful, wonderful work. Now, I hope you'll make cinema for as many years as you can. Tell me, though, Willow, is there another in the making? Please say there is.
There is. Of course there is. And until my body is cold and dead in the ground, I will keep trying to make this world a better place through my art. And inspired so much by the beautiful Shakespearean sonnet that ended this film, my next film is a reimagining of Romeo and Juliet, set in a roller derby. It just really speaks to love for everybody, romance across the years, and how equal love and Shakespearean love is happening all over right now.
Wonderful, wonderful. Well, I hope you don't mind, but we have got a clip from Reimagining Romeo and Juliet. Would you mind ever so much if we were to play it?
Not at all.
Wonderful. Here is Reimagining Romeo and Juliet, directed by, I hope it's okay to say this, my friend, Willow Chase.
We are indeed friends, Martina.
Two roller derby teams, both alike in dignity. In fair Hull roller derby rink, where we lay our scene, as old skates birth new mutiny, and civil shoves make civil paths unclean, like elbow pads.
Oi, hello. It appears that we have our star uniforms crossed. Our roller derby outfits, they appear to be crossed with each other. Can we just swap our star-crossed outfits with each other?
I don't see why not. Although my uniform's my life, so you know you've sort of taken my life there.
Oh well, I guess we both have our individual uniforms and our teams that aren't going to let us swap teams or anything, are they?
No. Sorry, what did you say your name was?
Romeo.
I'm Julietta. Nice to meet you. Oi, Julietta! You're coming to practice! Rosaline, not now! Sorry, embarrassing. I couldn't invite you to a party tonight, could I? The rest of the girls and me were all going to TGI Fridays. It's going to be a pretty classy one. We've invited along the Duke of Hull.
I'll see you there and I'll order some Jack Daniel's chicken strips for you.
Oh, wow. All right, Big Spender. See you there. Romeo and Julieta. Romeo and Juliet reimagined by Willow Chase. Coming to every roller derby rink of this fall.
Oh my, I can't wait to see it and see what happens to our star-crossed roller derby lovers. Wonderful.
Thank you.
Well, Willow, it's been my absolute privilege to have you on the podcast. Do you have any final words of wisdom for our listeners?
I guess there's just so many opportunities out there, if we create them. Otherwise, just really no opportunities at all. You just gotta dance to your own tune.
Absolutely. Listeners, dance to your own tune. Wherever you go, wherever your feet take you, dance to your own rhythm. Thank you, Willow. Thank you for joining us today.
Thank you, my friend. See you on Wednesday. We'll Instagram it.
Bring the t-shirts. The Improvised Movie Director podcast featured Sabrina Luisi as Martina Minnow, with resident improvisers Vicky Hawley and Ryan J. Murphy. With special thanks to today's guest, Lisa Lynn. Lisa will be performing at the Hoopla Marathon at 6:40 p.m. on Saturday, September the 25th, with her group Acaprov on Saturday, October the 9th, with Multiverse at the Bristol Improv Theatre on November the 12th, and with MusicBox on December the 17th. IMDp is produced and edited by Steve Tanner. Theme music by Matt Brown and Johnny Griffiths. Additional music by Scott Holmes and also by Stan Babbage. Follow us at Improv Movie Pod for updates on future episodes and live shows. Improvised Movie Director Podcast is a 4 Foot 1 Films production.